Hi everyone, today I am going to show you how to make cork ribbon because it's one of my favourite things to add onto hair bows, and I used to buy it pre-made, but quite a few people that I know that used to make this for me no longer do it, and I am trying to be a little bit more financially savvy this year. So I'm going to show you how to make these using these. So all you need is some wooden pegs, a baking tray and some 6mm dowel rods. Now I got these from the, let me just show you the size. So it's 6mm ones I use. There we go. And you can buy these from, say, the Works. You can get a pack of 10 for £1, or you can buy them from Amazon and you can get them for about 60 for about £7. But the thing you have to remember is when it comes to your peg, if you're going to batch make, which is what I do, I make like 40 at a time, which is like 2 trays or 3 trays worth. You need to double up on the amount of pegs. So if you've got 40 rods, you need 80 pegs, and so on. So like I said, if you're going to make a lot at once, you need the pegs to balance it out. So I've got about 80 pegs and about 40 rods, well 50 rods, just in case I've got little bits when I'm trying to do batches at once. So like I said, these are the rods, and like I said, just simple wooden ones. You can get bamboo versions, anything like that. But yeah, just look like these. Like so, you get 10 packs, 60 packs, 40 packs, whatever you need, and then wooden pegs. Now don't worry about the metal on these, because like I said, while it gets hot, it doesn't affect the baking or anything like that. And with this as well, I've actually been using 2 different versions of ribbon on these. So this is standard gross grain ribbon, but I have been ready for some schoolboy tutorials. Been using this slightly lighter, thinner, it's like, I can't remember what it's called, it's this checkered version. It's like very thin version. So on this one, I have a gas oven as well. Mine is Gasmarks, so I use Gasmark 1. And for this thinner ribbon and satins and things like that, I only cook them for 20 minutes. And on these standard gross grain ribbon, so just this, or these, you just see standard 9mm gross grain ribbon, I put these in for 25. Now I have terrible focus issues, so I always set a timer, and I only make them. I make batches, and I will only do it on days when I've got focus, because if I haven't got focus, I will literally leave them. And as you can see on these ones, these are all consistently wrapped. There's no marks on the ribbon, there's no like burns or like browning on the tips or anything like that, and that's what you want. Whereas if I wasn't paying attention, I can guarantee I would have left one of the batches in too long and the bottom of the ribbon would have got a bit brown, or like I said, areas might have a bit patchy with the colour. So do keep that in mind. So I'm just going to put this out of the way for a second. And as you can see, this is how you set them up. Just grab a couple of pegs. And I'm doing some royal blue at the moment, so I shall show you how to start and wrap one. So what I do is take my 6mm rod, and you can heat seal them before you bake them, but it doesn't really matter. You can heat seal them, and I just go right at the top and wrap it around a couple of times, because I'm going to cut these off once we take them off the actual rods in the end, and I peg that there. And then you see, you start wrapping around, but you don't want to go over. So where you've got that start point, you don't want to overlap that. You want to go round. And you keep following it round. Never wrap over the top, just next to each other, but still very tight so you can't see the wood underneath. So basically your ribbon just sort of edges round. Okay. And you just do that all the way to the end. And while my oven, as I said, is a Gasmark, and I use Gasmark 1, I'll put the Fahrenheits and Celsiuses for other places, because I know everyone uses different measurements, and I'll put all of them in with the times that I do for different ribbon. And like I said, remember, if you're anything like me with no focus at times, only do your batches when you're going to actually pay attention. I did like 60 in an hour, three baking sheets of like 15 to 20 on at a time. And I just sat there for like half an hour beforehand doing this and just wrapping all of them ready to put on the sheet and pop in. And then I had them on the side next to the oven ready to swap them out, so when one sheet was coming off I was lifting them off and putting the new ones on. My housemate thought I'd gone quite mad, but there we go. But you can do small ribbon if you wanted to do like 6mm, the skinnier versions of this. You could get some like 4mm or 3mm instead of 6mm for the 9 and have a play. And then when we get towards the end, again, make sure we're not overlapping anywhere. So we've got this last little bit now. And I just take it so it is overlapping a little bit. And I wrap it around all the way to the end. And I go around about twice normally. And then cut that off. And then put my peg on. And then all you do is get a nice standard baking sheet. And what I do is I put them so the peg bottoms sit to give them a bit of like uniform, and then make sure they're all even. And as you can see, what you do, pop them in the oven just like this, 25 minutes for standard gross grain. And as I said to you, for this thinner, any sort of thinner ribbons, do 20. If you want to, if you've got like a really thin one that you're not certain on, set your timer for 15, check it, and then obviously you can continue on to for 20 if you've got like no marks or brownness showing on the ribbon, because you will be able to see it immediately because you can see the difference here. So you'd be able to see straight away if there was going to be any markings or anything like that. So once they have cooled down, because like I said, never touch them when they're hot, you can sort of move them out of the way, but like I said, once they've cooled down, and some of them just come off as I move them across to my desk. That was easier than I expected. So now we have our batch of these, and as you can see, we've got all of these ones here, taking off the pegs off the end, because that's all you need to do, take the pegs off. And then what I do is take mine from here, and if they get stuck at any point, and there we go, we get cute. Ribbon all the way down, and all I do on these ends, because obviously we've got that little extra curl there, is I just take my scissors across the end before I put them on my bows or anything like that, and I just trim them off and heat seal. And what I'll do is I'll do that for all of my corkers. Like I said, we've got all of these super cute ones. Like I said, I've got my whole box of colours. Like I said, some of them I brought these pre-made, some of them that I've made myself. Like I said, I'm in the process of making these herringbone checkered versions for some school bow projects that I have in mind, which is why I'm doing the blue and the royal blues and the reds and things like that. And then, like I said, once you've brought the dowels and the pegs, you can use them as many times as you need to. Some people, like I said, add a little bit of water to theirs, but like I said, I personally haven't needed to. You can also add a little bit of starch spray sometimes as well, but like I said, it's not something I've had to do. But like I said, you can play around, you can use all your own colours, you can make the different sizes of ribbons. Like I said, it's a lot simpler than it looks. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye!